All right, fam, today is the next day. This is the first day that we get to start on Kyle's project. So operation first, or first thing I need to do, we need to free up this whole area. I'm talking about from this point forward, radiator, intake pipe. We need to get rid of all this stuff so that we can have a clean canvas. So now that we got this whole area cleared, both manifolds are off, we're gonna start with the OEM manifolds that we're gonna choose. We've already talked about it. One manifold is gonna be a truck, hold on. Again, we're using a passenger side truck manifold, flipping it, putting this on the driver side of the 240, and then we have us a C6 driver side manifold that we flipped and we're putting on the passenger side. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this ear off. Basically, I want to make this thing as round as possible. And then the same thing for here, we're gonna cut the flange off. So first, take off these heat shields. The reason I like using this C6 driver side manifold on the passenger side is because look how short it is. With the 240, you don't want to hit that. That's where the problem lies at right there, is hitting that. So if we bolt that up, see how much clearance we got? I mean, of course the flange is touching, but once I cut that flange off, we can put like a hard 90 on it and it'll clear that motor mount. Let me show you what we're gonna use to cut that up. Yeah, we about to put this daggone War Fox to use. This Amazon special. All we need is 220 and some earth. Ta-da! That's where we're at. Both manifolds cut, cleaned up. So now I want to see if I could try to fit a 90 or like a slight 45 on this side. And then we can just kind of finagle or figure out which kind of angles we need to run up underneath the harmonic balancer. Just a rough estimate. We're trying to do a 45 down or a straight down 45 underneath the harmonic balancer, a 45 back up. The turbo gonna sit here. 90 or 45, basically run it this direction and then merge it up into the pipe right before it gets to the turbo. I got 2 slices of pie right here to kind of get this pipe to angle going towards the lower section of the harmonic balancer. I've already tacked up this 45-degree bend with a 2.5 V-band on one side, the flex bellow on the other side. And this right here is what we're going for. The flex bellow will be up underneath the harmonic balancer. And then after I weld this up, we should look good enough to put basically a straight piece in between the two. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this up, put you on the time lapse. All right, fam, I've welded all the pies except for the last one, only because I want to attach this to the exhaust manifold. Again, we're using a truck manifold. These truck manifolds are made out of cast. So when you want to weld stainless to cast, two things. You got to preheat this to a certain temperature, let's say 350, 400, I don't know, but I'm gonna hit it with some MAP gas. And then I'm gonna tack it up. Then I'm gonna tack it up. Then I'm gonna still keep heating it to let it cool down. I'm not ready to weld it yet, but I would like to tack it, install it to make sure that everything fits. Y'all remember this little contraption I made? This joker right here helps significantly as far as figuring out where you want to put the turbo at. All I gotta do is cock it a little bit and we good to go. She's going right there. Just like my first turbo setup, this is kind of the general location that I think is going to work. We got to take in consideration that the flange fits here, the pipe comes off, it's got the snake in between this area. That's in the way. May need to figure something out with that, but we're going to try to keep that the same. The radiator is going to be right here. And then of course, we have to take in consideration the tire, making sure it don't hit this. So I will have to put it all the way on the ground, turn the wheel all the way on the inside. But overall, this is the general location of where we'll be putting the turbo at, something like that. All right, guys, 2 days have passed. I was stuck 2 days trying to figure out where to put this turbo. Me and Kyle have decided that's the location. What we did, we had Kyle hold it. I MIG welded this little bracket. Actually made another one of these out of some spare stock. Made this template out of stock. Took a piece of rod, made it in between. So now I can take this whole assembly with the headers and I can put it on another motor, which we're about to pull in right now. How you think about the setup so far?
Looks pretty good.
You like the placement?
Yeah, looks symmetrical to the alternator placement. Looks like we got enough wheel clearance over here, and it might even be able to put a filter on it.
Heck yeah. So Nicholas Abbott, you going down, bro.
Shimmy, 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 shaw, shimmy, yay.
2 hours later, we had to cut this mug off and redo it, man.
Shimmer, shimmer.
My drunk neighbor came over here, man. He got to talking too much. Jim, I love you, and I will help you fix your lawnmower tomorrow. But we're gonna try to daggone shimmy, shimmy, shimmy that joke into place and tack it into place.
Clearance the hood a little.
Nah, it's good.
It's good. Still it ain't.
So now we're gonna check the downpipe before we permanently do this. We wanna make sure we got even space on both sides. Sheesh, that's money, yo.
Pretty good.
Sheesh.
Party till I die with my chin up high.
So now we're ready to take off both exhaust manifolds to mock it up to my spare Gen 453.
Alright guys, we're gonna take the exhaust manifolds off, we're gonna set them up on the table, and once we do that, we're gonna get them on this new 5.3 4th gen engine here, and we're gonna finish checking up welding the hot side.
I put these jokers in with a hammer and a, oh, I'm bleeding.
Stage 8. That's what it is.
Yeah, I never heard that before.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
I was gonna say, don't lose my stage 8 hardware.
Is that what these are?
No.
I kind of like them.
No, they're not. I don't know where I got this.
What, they got like a cheap wash on it or something?
I put those on there.
Oh, really? I thought
That was me. That was me being extra.
Yeah, I like it.
You notice how tight I had them. They never came off.
They never came off. They never came off.
I think they were like 5 foot-pounds.
Well, they ain't come off because you won't make them look power.
Right?
Good. That junk is pre-lubed. Oh, snap. So I got everything lined up and taped up using some of this high temp tape. I'm gonna use the spot function on the welder, tack a few of these things up, then tack it up to the flange. Then we will take it back off, install it on there to verify that it fits. Just to let you know, this is a lengthy process when you do this fabrication. So remember, when somebody give you a quote and you be like, dang, that junk kind of high. Hey, there's a bunch of hours that go into this stuff, a bunch of patience, and not everybody want to do it for a reason. So remember that. It's fun, but the question is it really fun?
3 days later.
Off camera, I had to redo this whole thing, break all the tacks and start from scratch. What ended up happening, once we installed it in here, it was touching the top corner of that Canton oil pan. So what I ended up doing is making a little spool piece and using this shorter straight section, and I was able to make it work. So now I'm about to take this thing off and we're gonna purge it and fully weld it. All right, fam, a few days have passed and this is where we're at. We got all of this side done. Passenger side to the driver side, of course, it's at an angle. This is my little jig. And off camera, man, I ended up welding all this up and I ended up having to cut this section apart and basically move the V-band down because my transition from this Corvette manifold into here was just basically coming in contact with the V-band. So let me put this piece up real quick that I've already set up and let me show you what it looked like. This is the piece that I've already tacked to place. That's my coping. It's not at the final product yet, but as you can tell, that fits up there rather nice. That's what it's gonna look like from the passenger side. So I gotta do a little more work, but I believe I'm at the point where I'm ready to tack all this stuff up. And then I can scribe this section so I know how much to cut out, get it all prepared, and then I can finally weld it for the last time. And just FYI, to get this piece to this point right here, about an hour or so. A bunch of trial and error, a bunch of marking, guessing, and yeah. All right, I went ahead and welded this little piece of pipe together. If you don't know or ain't really done fabrication, I'm here to tell you that there is a process on how you do this stuff. And yeah, you got to tack and put stuff together in order. But I purged it. That's what the inside looked like. We got that full pin. I feel like my skills are adequate enough that I can say pin, full pin, AKA full penetration. And of course, when you weld stainless, it gets distorted. Still got that great fit up. And then also off camera, what I did is I tacked this piece up together like that, and then I scribed all the way around it. I'm not gonna cut on the scribe line. I'll probably come in just a smidge and then cut that out, clean it up, and then we'll tack all this back up together and see if we can finish this piece of the puzzle. look at the finished product. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with the outcome of this turbo hot side for the 240. Only thing that was a pain in the butt was this section here. When I make another kit, I probably will relocate that V-band there. I'll probably use a different quality of V-band. And then of course, laying them stack of dimes on that cast of stainless, I preheated it and welded it. So the last thing we gotta do is take this V-band, and it's probably gonna go right there. Before I confirm, we need to take all of this off and bolt it back up to the 240. Not that one, but the one above that one. Wow, that's the finished product. Got it all welded. As you can tell, I'd already back purged it. So all we gotta do now is install this and then make the screamer pipe. But I'm gonna say that for another episode. So the next episode, we'll do the screamer pipe and we'll probably work on the 4-inch down pipe. So until the meantime, hit the subscribe button, comment below if you got any questions or got anything you want to say. Hey, appreciate everybody that comments, and I love everybody. Check you on the next episode where we're gonna get some more progress done on Kyle's drift build.